What's up, everybody? This is Newt Mayenge. Welcome to the league. The topic of today's show is creating your tribe, and my next guest knows all about it. She's been on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., 90210, and Grey's Anatomy, just to name a few. She's also been one of my favorite acting coaches. I love to welcome Raquel Gardner. Hey, Rocky, welcome to the league. How are you?
I'm so fabulous, Newton. How are you?
I am good. It is such a treat and a pleasure to have you on the show. This really means a lot to me.
Well, for those of you on the league that don't know, Newton and I have known each other for quite some time. Probably what, 5 years?
Yes.
Maybe a little more than that?
Yes. When I first started acting and I was still, trying to figure out things and very energetic in the business, but still had no clue on what I was doing.
That's all right. Everybody's at that place at some point in their life or in their career.
This is very special for me too, because our topic today is on creating your tribe. And this, for me, I have a story to tell you. You gave me an opportunity that I'm sure you remember, but maybe vaguely, but you gave me an opportunity years ago when I didn't have much footage, I didn't have much film. And you called me up and you said, Newton, I have a project that I'm working on that I want to involve you in. And I said, that's great. Now, mind you, my acting chops was nowhere near where it is now. And I'm still growing now, but it was nowhere near. And you called me in and I came in, and it was a scene that was so pivotal and it was so me. And I was so grateful that you considered me. And from there, that footage that I got, I've utilized that footage since to gain other opportunities. So I've gotten booked off that footage. And I really wanted to thank you for allowing me in your tribe.
Oh, you're giving me goosebumps.
I truly mean that, because you reached out to me when you really didn't have to. There was tons of other actors you could have reached out to. So that's why it was important for me to have this conversation with you in creating your tribe. And I just want to know, what's your perception of why it's important to create your tribe or your group of people who you can trust and go through life with and help motivate each other?
Well, first of all, thank you so much. And I do remember that time. And I remember putting together that project and thinking to myself, I remember coaching you when I was working at Tasha's, and there was something about you that was, you had a real open heart to learn. And you had a natural ability to listen, and that's not really easy for a lot of actors to come into this industry and know what it means to listen. And I think you really knew how to listen. And I knew that you were perfect for that project because I needed somebody that had the stature that you have physically, but also had the ability to do the acting. And you did. And I mean, you killed that scene. It was awesome. I'm sorry that your head got blown off at the end. But what do I think? Well, first of all, I think it's one of the most important things if you want to be in any industry successful is to create a successful tribe around you. Because you need to have somebody that's going to be able to build you up. You need to have people in your life that you trust that are going to be able to tell you when you're doing something that may not necessarily be in the right direction. You also need somebody to tell you, hard things about yourself that you might need to change or shift. And ego is a huge thing in our lives, and a little bit of ego is good and it's healthy, but heavy ego, especially in the business that I'm in, and you're in the entertainment business, you have to be careful of that ego, because the ego can get you to a place where you think you don't need anybody. But what I've come to learn in this business, and I've been in this industry for 30 plus years, is...
I thought you were on. So you've been a child actor then, because you're.
Yeah. Okay.
You started.
Yeah. Of course, I was. But no, I was. I mean, I started acting when I was 16. I mean, I started modeling when I was 10 and acting when I was 16. But.
Oh wow.
Anyway, I'm a lot older than you think. But It is.
Still a baby.
I remember being a young actor here in LA when I moved to LA when I was 19, and I was a young actor, and
Mm-hmm.
I didn't think I needed anybody. People wanted to help me. I was very stubborn. I had a huge ego, and I didn't think I needed anybody. And it was the biggest mistake that I ever made in my life, thinking that.
Wow.
And what I realize now, becoming a seasoned older actor, is that is the first and foremost thing that you want to create, is a solid tribe of people around you that got your back, that help you, that are striving higher than you are. I just had a conversation with my nephew the other day who just moved out here. He's
Oh,
20
wow.
from Ohio. And I said to him, listen, I said, the one thing I want to tell you, if you don't listen to anything else, any other advice I give you, please listen to this. Surround yourself with people that are doing more than you.
Yes.
Surround yourself with people that are smarter than you. Surround yourself with people that are more successful than you, because you always want to be learning.
Yes.
And you don't want to be in a position where you're the smartest person in the room or you're the most accomplished person in the room, because then you don't have room to grow with those people. And so it's important to have that, to be striving together with your tribe.
Yes.
You know.
And I'm glad you bring that up, because you are such a giving person, even with all the accolades. Your acting resume is phenomenal, but
Thank
you're
you.
a giving person, and
I'm very emotional today, so I'm probably going to cry at some point. I'm just letting you know right now, I'm already feeling it.
You're in your full instrument right now, as as you would say.
But I always haven't been like that, Newton. This is
Really?
something I've learned. This business can be very selfish.
Yes.
And you find yourself, if I'm to get really extremely personal, and I don't talk about this publicly, and I don't tell people this publicly, but I'm willing to share it because I think that people can learn from this. I got really wrapped up in this business when I was young and in my 20s and 30s. And I put a lot of other opportunities aside, like relationships and other avenues of, hobbies and happiness and travel. And
Yes.
everything was revolved around work, because I was chasing a dream that was so important, and it consumed me. And what I want to tell younger artists out there, actors and musicians and singers and dancers, is don't let life pass you by without enjoying life itself. Because what happens is, you get to a place where, those relationships that you kept putting on the back burner. I mean, I had amazing relationships in my life, probably, 3-4 opportunities to really see a relationship through and get married and have children. And I kept putting everything on the side.
Yeah.
I got to a place where that wasn't possible, anymore for me, as far as having kids and a family.
Yeah.
And I realized, looking back, I was like, wow, I had all these chances, and here I am now faced with that, which is okay. I'm good. I'm happy. I'm a happy person. I have great people around me. I have 9 nieces and nephews. I have, tons of godchildren, and a lot of areas where I'm completely blessed in that area. But
Yeah.
I tell people that don't live your life. Don't stop yourself for this career, and pursuing other things that make you happy as well. Because as much as you have to drive yourself and you have to have tenacity, you also want to live.
Yes.
And you don't want to be living to work or to fill a dream, but you want to work to live.
Yes.
You want to live. You want to work to live.
Yes.
You don't want to live to work. So it's really important to surround yourself with those people and do those things that you want, those creative things, and travel and experience new culture and try new foods and learn to play the piano and try a yoga class and go surfing. And, all these things are really important. And funny enough, they actually help. If you're an actor, they help you in your career.
They definitely do. They add a different layer.
Totally. Did I get off subject there? I don't even remember.
But something, this is where we're going with it.
I don't remember what the question was.
It doesn't even matter, because I think that's something that we can all learn from. I think that's a life lesson, and then that's the importance of what we try to do with the show, is to show these life lessons. Because now you change that whole thought process. You are
that's where we were going.
Yes,
100% changed it. I'm a very spiritual person. I'm very, I've always been, since I was a very little girl, I've always been an empath and very in touch with people's feelings. And, but I was just, very selfish in my own thing and was just doing my own thing. But then I realized that you get way more out of life when you are of service and you become available. And Tasha's the one that really taught me a lot about that. And I didn't want to be a teacher. I didn't want to be a coach at first.
Really? I was actually going to ask you about that.
It wasn't even in my wheelhouse ever until Tasha said, Rocky, which is my nickname, Rocky. She said, Rocky, I want you to teach at my school, because she was opening the school in 2014. And she said, I want you to teach. And I was not interested. I said, Tasha, I'm not interested in that. And she said, no.
But those of you who don't know who we're talking about Tasha Smith.
Tasha Smith, yeah. And Tasha's been a dear friend of mine for 30 years. And I said, Tasha, that's not really the avenue I want to go down. It's not what I want to do. And she said, Rocky, you're a teacher. You just don't know it yet. Because I had coached her on some stuff, on some auditions, and we've worked together and, have been friends for a long time. And I really had to think about it long and hard. In fact, I took off and went to Bali for 2 weeks. I was dating a guy at the time, and I took off and went to Bali and saw him. And I was like, I have to think about this. And she goes, go to Bali, do your thing. Just when you come back, you're going to start teaching.
Be ready to teach. That sounds like Tasha.
And I came back, and, everybody in my life was like, you have to do this. Are you kidding? This is the universe telling you. This is God telling you to move in that direction. And at that time, I really had not worked on my spirit person as far as giving and being of service, because I was working on just opening my heart, period, in my spirit, and receiving what was the next move for me. Mm-hmm. And I started to teach. I gave in and agreed, and I started to teach, and something shifted in me that I can't even explain. It was like the universe opened up for me. And I was like Dorothy in The Wizard of Oz, walking down a path that was lighting up. And I was like, what is happening? And I still fought it for years.
Yeah.
And then I thought, I think it's time to open up my own place, because I think that I need my own space that I can really go after. I had a technique, and I have been working with different coaches, and Yvonne is part of my technique, the Power of the Actor technique. But I had a bunch of other techniques that I work into my work as well, that I felt like I needed to make available to actors. And so I opened up the Actors Mark in 2016, and it has just been an amazing experience. And I have helped.
Before you continue, I just need people to understand the level of work that you put into your students is just as if you were on set with them. It's just as if it's a mock set that you construct. You work on the emotional aspects. You work on the backstory. You work on, what was that character doing yesterday? What's that favorite food of that character? What's their favorite color? You break down every aspect of it, and you literally allow students to become that character. And, of course, one of your students. You've had tremendous amounts of students like Brandy Evans that's on P-Valley, Janae
And
Hope.
Aria Carter, who plays Brandy's daughter, I coach her as well.
Yes.
I
So,
coach a lot of actors. I was coaching the Grella twins on The Affair. I've coached I've coached actors on I can't say some of their names because some of them are very well-known actors, but I've coached actors that was on Martin. I've coached actors that were on it's a huge movie with Steven Soderbergh, but I can't say their names. It's
of course,
confidentiality, but
of course.
I coach a lot of working actors.
But just to
And I
bring
coach
back,
a lot of actors that are beginners.
yes, you do. You have a gift, Rocky, and I'm so grateful that I've gotten a chance to experience it, and everyone else, because you have a gift. When I was in Tasha's class, I enjoyed it so much. I enjoyed Tasha, and I still, of course, work with Tasha. But you gave me another look of it that I just thoroughly enjoyed.
Yeah,
And
I love Tosh too. She's such an amazing coach. Talk about a phenomenal teacher.
yes, she is.
Right. She is just forget it. The cream of the crop. And also
Yes,
as a person, one of my favorite people in the world. I love her
yes,
to And,
yes,
I'm so grateful to her because I never would have even known about this gift inside of me without her bringing it out. So I'm so grateful to her for that. But
yes. And that's why you always don't know what's best for you, which is why your tribe is there to help you.
100%.
Yes.
100%. If it would have been somebody else that I really don't know and trust, I probably would not have gone down that road. But
Yes.
I value Tasha's opinion and I love her as a person. And we've been through a lot together in our friendship. And so
Yes.
I know Tasha and I know how spiritually connected she is. And I knew that she wasn't just telling me that. I knew that was coming from somewhere that was deeper and
Yes.
stronger. It is very important to have a core group of people in your life. And listen, whether that's family or whether that's just people that you believe are your family but are not blood, we all have our lives we're raised and we grow up in all different ways of life. And, I have coached so many people that don't have families to people that have fully supportive families that are taking care of them. I have every walk of life, and the one thing that I've learned through all of it is no matter what your upbringing is, the dreams of these people are still the same.
Still the same.
These dreams are still motivated by something inside of them, and I see the level of dedication on every angle. I mean, I'm working with an actress right now who's a young actress who's, totally being supported by her family and is so dedicated. And I
Yeah.
have another actor that, was living in his car last year
Wow.
and is so dedicated
And
to his dream. And, you just can't give up.
yeah.
No
And,
matter what, you have to find a way to make it work.
and that's why it comes down to being able to reach out to the folks that truly care about you and truly
Yeah.
want to see you win. And that's why we're doing this. You've always wanted to see me win, and I want to make sure you're winning, and especially now more than ever with this pandemic and COVID. And I wanted to say thank you again for sharing that personal story, because that's something that everyone can relate to. Believe
I
it or
think
not.
so too. I
And
think a lot of people relate. We're all out here in LA or New York or Atlanta or even London, wherever you're at, where you're moving to those cities from somewhere else, most of us, and we're leaving our families and we're leaving our loved ones. I mean, I left my family 30 years ago and, moved out here as a kid by myself. I knew one person
wow,
here.
wow,
And I was 19 and I told my parents, and I'm super close. I'm very blessed. I have a very close family. I have two older sisters and an older brother. My mom and dad are still married after 55 years of marriage.
That's so
and
beautiful.
both, still with us. And I'm very lucky and I'm very blessed. And every single day I thank God for that, because
Yeah.
I know and have, many, many clients that I work with that aren't as lucky in that area. But I still left. I still had a dream.
Yes.
And I still said, I gotta go. I love
And
you, and I'll see
I'm
y'all
glad
soon.
you did that.
But I gotta pack up my stuff and get out of here.
I'm
Because
glad you did that, because you have to still fulfill what's inside of you. I think that's very important.
so, and advice I give to a lot of new artists out there. I know you all want to front and you all want to pretend like you got this and you got that. But let me just give you some just good old hometown advice. Don't live beyond your means.
Yes.
Just do what you have to do to make your dream a reality, and then you can live in that glory. But when you try to overextend yourself right from the very start by getting a car that you can't afford, or getting an apartment you can't afford, or buying clothes that you really can't afford, there's so many opportunities right now to be able to do that within a budget that you have. But
Yes.
don't live beyond your means just yet. Just be a little frugal in the beginning, because it really does end up paying off in the long run. And that's why it's another good thing to have a good group of, friends in your tribe behind you, because you can all help each other out in those
Yes.
areas. You know,
Yes.
go thrift shopping and find your dining room table. Don't feel like you have to spend $1,000 on a table. It's just little things like that
Yes. Yes.
that are practical.
I totally.
That it's very expensive to live in these towns. It's expensive to live in LA. It's expensive to live in New York. I hear it's getting more expensive to live in Atlanta, and of course
Yeah.
Miami.
Yes.
So, be smart. Put your money away. Be smart. It especially as an actor, it eases your mind, because when you're trying to figure out where the next paycheck is coming from, or you're trying to figure out, how am I going to pay my rent? How am I going to pay this $400-$500 car payment I have, when I'm not in the position to do that for myself, but I needed to have that car.
Yeah.
Now you are taking that brain power that should be used towards developing your foundation in your craft, and learning about a technique, and learning how to be a better actor, and a more available actor, and a
Hmm.
deeper, stronger actor. But
Yes.
you have to use that part of your mind and that portion to focus on how to survive.
Yeah.
And it's a big struggle. And I've been there. That's why I'm telling you that, because I've been there and I've done those stupid things. And that's the advice that I have for this younger generation of actors and artists that are coming out.
Absolutely. And I
Yeah.
appreciate that, Rocky. What do you have going on that we can talk about to promote for the upcoming near future for you?
Well, the one thing that I love to promote, because I think it's just an amazing opportunity for actors that are on a budget, is my private Facebook lounge.
Okay.
I have a private Facebook members lounge,
Hmm.
and it's a core group of actors. It's extremely inexpensive. I think right now, I don't really head that. So I think it's $27 a month to join right now, but that is going up, I think, at the end of October. All my resources to all my photographers, I have PDFs, self-tape checklists on there. I have breaking down your material PDF on there that's available. Any reel companies that shoot reels, all of my resources are on there. Actors go on and we do challenges. I do monologue live challenges on my Instagram live, and those are only open to members. So you can work on your monologue and I critique it and help you adjust you and build you up so that you have a monologue in your back pocket. All this stuff is included in the members lounge. Resume templates, how to build a website template, all this stuff is available for the actors. But so that's one thing that's really strong and I think really worth it. And I also do ongoing intensives, online intensives right now that are so, like my online intensive right now that I have, I have Tuesdays and Thursdays.
Mm-hmm.
So amazing. My actors, if you go on our Instagram page, you'll see on my story, I have a couple actors that were doing some scenes from Ozark.
Oh, wow.
I mean, they're just the level of breakthrough that these actors are having in their life, in their acting life, is tremendous. They're now getting auditions.
Yeah.
Like they're auditioning, they're getting representation, they're booking jobs. I have some actors that one actor just booked a web series, a series regular on a web series. I had another one that just went out for a huge feature film with The Rock. I've got people going out all the time and coaching them. So I do that. And the other thing I do is my goal coaching that's really strong and very helpful for actors. It's like an 1.5-hour session. But I mean, I'm just, I'm doing all my stuff all the time.
We're so
You
grateful.
can check me out on my website, actorsmark.com, or
Yes.
follow us at the Actors Mark on Instagram and Facebook. Yeah.
That's perfect. Rocky,
Yeah.
thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me and building the league, for building your career, for building your this community for yourself, for utilizing this pandemic and coming out of it successful and a fighter and on top of everything. Because I know a lot of people that were struggling, but you saw the bigger picture and, put something together that is super powerful and is reaching a lot of people. And that's really awesome. I'm super proud of you for that.
Thank you. I can't take all the credit. My fiance, who's the producer of the show,
It's your tribe, man. It's your tribe.
She kept telling me you need to do a show, and then finally we came up with it. I came up with the name, the league.
Well, the league is amazing. The name is perfect.
Thank you.
Do you have athletes on here as well?
We do. I played overseas, so that's kind of where that whole name came from. But we wanted to make it all inclusive. So
yeah. I mean, it's really awesome. I think it's a great thing that you're doing. We might need to talk after, not right after this, but at some point, because I might have a couple of athletes that might want to come on.
We'd love to have them, Rocky. And once again, it was such a pleasure to have you on the show.
Thank you.
Nothing but support from the tribe.
And back to you.
Thank you.
Support always.
Guys, this is Newt Mayenge, Raquel Gardner. Check her out on the Actors Mark. You heard the information. The League Talk Show. You guys be safe. Take care of yourselves and your families. Talk soon.
Bye-bye.